Mr Deputy President, a little bit less than a week ago, the body of little Aylan Kurdi washed up on that beach, and there was a photograph taken of him being lifted up gently by the Turkish Sergeant Major Mehmet Ciplak. And I think everybody emotionally responded, who sees that photo emotionally responds to it. But when you see the photo, you don't know if the little boy is Muslim. If he's Muslim, you don't know if he's Sunni or if he's Shiite. You don't know if he's Christian or Jewish. You don't know if he has no faith or is of a different faith. And the image of that little boy, and of course he didn't die alone, he died with his 5-year-old brother and his mother in a terrible drowning accident as he was trying to flee the violence, the unremitting violence that happens in his home of Syria. The image of the little boy has sparked a debate in this country about the expansion of our refugee program. That's a good debate to have, one would think. Of course we should do more. Of course we should take thousands more refugees. If my taxes need to rise to house and provide sanctuary to these people, please increase my taxes to have it happen. And I think that's a thought that most decent-minded Australians would readily share. But the debate in the last 24 hours has taken a turn that I think we should take a step back from immediately. I note in the ABC that one backbencher told the ABC, in response to this call that we should all have to increase refugees, told the ABC that the message being sent to the Prime Minister by some in the coalition was clear: no more Muslim men. Mr Turnbull, my local member, who's meant to be representing me in the federal parliament, is reported as saying he was very concerned about the plight of Christian communities in Syria. They are a minority, he said. They survived in Syria. They've been there for thousands of years, literally since the time of Christ, he said. But in an increasingly sectarian Middle East, you have to ask whether the gaps, the spaces where they're able to live and survive in will any longer be available. Our Foreign Minister, Ms Bishop, told the ABC this: I think that Christian minorities are being persecuted in Syria, and even if the conflict were over, they would still be persecuted, she said. So I believe there will be a focus on ensuring we can get access to those persecuted ethnic and religious minorities who will have no home to return to even when the conflict is over. This includes Maronites, it includes Yazidis, there are Druze, there are a whole range of ethnic and religious minorities that make up the populations in both Syria and Iraq. We saw in the Sydney Morning Herald the columnist Paul Sheehan say, there is no chance the electorate wants to import the Sunni Shia schism into Australia via a large influx of Muslims dislocated by this conflict. That is a political reality. He said, if either the Coalition or Labor were to announce a large-scale program of humanitarian immigration from the war zone, it would encounter the public's aversion to the systemic failure of democracy, pluralism and religious tolerance in the Arab world. His solution was only take Christian refugees from the area. Barnaby Joyce said that Christians in the region should be given priority. And he later told the ABC that Shiites, Zoroastrians and Jews in the region were also under threat from extremists, but it was, in his words, the reality that the future of Christianity in that area is over. I didn't see a little Christian boy or a little Jewish boy or a little Muslim boy. And if he was a Muslim boy, I didn't see a Sunni boy or a Shiite boy. I saw a little boy which, regardless of his religion, should have been given protection. We should not ever in this country think that we should extend protection to a little boy, his family, a young man, a young woman, an old man, an old woman, on the basis that they are a Christian or a Muslim. There are 4 million Syrians who've left their country in desperate need of assistance. I don't care what their religion is. Our leaders in the Commonwealth Parliament should not care what their religion is. I don't care what religion that boy had. Let's end this vicious, divisive debate. Let's accept refugees regardless of their religion.